Good morning, guys. It's Miss Catalano here. I hope you guys are all healthy and safe and enjoying this time with your families. Today, I'm going to give Mr. Parker a run for his money and show you guys using a video how to approximate square roots. Now, before starting this, I want to go over yesterday's lesson, which was basically figuring out what a perfect square and a square root was. A perfect square is a number when multiplied by itself gives you a number. 4 times 4 is 16, so 16 is a perfect square. Now, to take the square root of something, it means to think, okay, what number times itself gives you 16? 4 times 4 gives you 16, so 4 is the square root of 16. It's like doing the opposite. Now that we know that, how can we solve numbers that don't have a perfect square? Like 27. No number times itself gives it 27. So, in order to do that, we must follow these steps appropriately. First, we need to figure out what the lower perfect square is and the bigger perfect square is. What that means is what two perfect squares 27 falls between. If we take a look at our chart, we could see, okay, we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and 49. All right, well, where does 27 fall between? Which two numbers? 9 and 16? No. 16 and 25? No. What about 25 and 36? Does 27 fall between those? Yeah, it does. So the lower number is going to be our lower perfect square, 25, and our higher number, the number that's bigger than 27, is going to be our bigger perfect square. So in this document, the lower perfect square is going to be 25, or the square root of 25. And the bigger perfect square is going to be the square root of 36. Now we have to figure out the square root of 25 as a whole number and the square root of 36 as a whole number. Well, if you don't know that off the top of your head, take a look at the chart. The square root of 25 as a whole number is 5. And the square root of 36 as a whole number is 6. So underneath where it says the square root of 25, we're going to write 5. And underneath where it says the square root of 36, we're going to write 6. 27 is going to be, or the square root of 27 is going to be a decimal that's between 5 and 6. So 5 point something. 5 point what though? In order to figure out what that decimal is, we have to use the following formula. Don't mind that I crossed that out and wrote original. It's just easier for you to read. So we're going to simplify this following ratio or this following formula under here to figure out what that fraction or that decimal is. Now the formula reads as follows. It's going to be the original perfect square minus the lower perfect square over the bigger perfect square minus the lower perfect square. Well, our original number is 27. So right in this box, I'm going to write 27 was my original number. Then I have to figure out what the lower perfect square is. The lower perfect square, we have it written down right here. It's 25. So in this box, I'm going to write 25. The original minus the lower, the original minus the lower. Well, what's 27 minus 25? 2. So the numerator of our fraction for this number is going to be 2. Now we have to do the bottom part of our fraction. We have the bigger number minus the lower perfect square number. Our bigger number is 36. So 36 goes in this box. And the lower number, or the lower perfect square, is the square root of 25. So 25 goes in this box. 36 minus 25. The bigger minus the lower. Well, what's 36 minus 25? I'll give you a second to plug it in your calculators. I gave you 5 seconds. The answer is 11. Great job. So 2 over 11 is the decimal that goes after this 5. It's going to be 5 and 2 11s, or 5 point something. So the square root of 27, like I just said, is 5 added with the fraction, which is 2 11ths, which is going to be 5 point, Anybody know 2/11ths as a fraction? If you don't, guess what? There's a handy dandy thing on Google called a calculator, and you could always write in 2, Miss Calano's computer. Please hold for technical difficulties. All right, well, that's not working. Thank God Miss Calano has another calculator. So, 2 divided by 11, which is the same as 2/11, is 0.18181818, blah, 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 blah. I just want you to round to the nearest tenth. So, the nearest tenth is the number that comes right after the decimal place. 0.18. 0.18 rounds to what? Does it round to 0.1 or does it round to 0.2? If this middle number is greater than 5, it rounds up. So the decimal is going to be 5.2. So 5.2 is what our decimal place is going to be, or what my decimal is going to be when I type in the square root of 27. Now, we could also use our calculator to double check to make sure that's correct. I'm going to clear that. And usually you write 27 and then the square root afterwards. And there you go, 5.19. When we round it up to the nearest tenth, to that number that's next to the decimal, becomes 5.2, which is the answer that we just got. So, the square root of 27, when we use this approximation, is 5.2. All right, you guys, please like and subscribe to my video because I get paid more than Mr. Park for my amount of followers. I'm just kidding. However, if you do have any questions on how I did this, please feel free to email myself or Mr. Park. We are here to help you 100%. Don't be afraid to reach out and finish the PowerPoint that I have assigned for you. That's going to be another example that's super similar to this setup. And then after that, we have a Google form that needs to be submitted tonight by 11:59 p.m. So, like I said, if you need any help or extra resources, please email myself or Mr. Park. See you guys soon.